welcome back to my channel and something, I guess, I always say this, I'm like something a little different. Is there anything that's ever consistent on this channel? Today I have for you a nail art video with a focus on jelly nail polishes. When I did my review of the new Orly Jelly Trio, I asked if you guys wanted to see like how I use my jelly polishes, because I'm always talking about how versatile and great and fun jelly polishes are, but I've never actually shown you guys the types of looks that I think are cool with these polishes. So that's what we're doing today. As you guys know, I mean, like from the name of this channel, not a nail art queen. That's not me. I'm not talented in that way, but nail art is fun, and I decided to pick out some looks that are very simple, where you need few or no tools at all outside of your nail polish. And these are not going to be, you know, these super beautiful, like, could hang in a museum type of looks, at least not when I do them. But I'm just going to show you some ideas and some fun ways to utilize jellies in your life. For those of you who aren't super familiar with what a jelly polish is, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a shearer polish. You can pretty much always see visible nail line no matter how many coats you do, no matter how much you build it up, and that is by design. They're supposed to look like this. They look kind of squishy and like wet, even when they're dried down, and pair that with a really thick glossy top coat and they just look like a hard candy on your nails. They're really, really shiny, really, really pretty, and very, very not saturated with color. Some people might even describe them as like a squishy look, which I definitely agree with. They're a very intentional kind of look, and I do think that they're a bit more of an acquired taste. You know, I didn't like them when I first got into polish. Now I really love them, but I think that they're kind of coming back in a big way. Gen Z is really gunning hard to bring back that really horrible 90s look, and there was a lot of jelly stuff in the 90s and early 2000s, and so I've been seeing a lot of brands release some jelly polishes like more often than they would. You know, Orly, like I said, just released a trio, so I thought I would show you guys just some really fun ways to use them. And if you're someone who hates visible nail line, well, sometimes when you have a design going on with the jelly, it can distract from that nail line and still make it wearable for someone like you. And another big tip that I have when it comes to jellies before we get into the actual looks is make sure your nail plate is completely clean, right? Make sure all that excess polish is removed. Make sure that you have kind of scrubbed and prepped them away, because you can see a lot through the jelly. So for me, my nails do peel a little bit, they do crack a little bit, and you can see all of that through the jelly polish. So just do your best to get them as like clean slate as possible before you start these manicures. So that's it. Let's hop right into my little lookbook. I have a lot of different looks for you to try out. I have one fail at the end, so stay tuned. And like I said, these are not perfect in any way, but they are just very easy, simple, straightforward designs that you can do with few or no tools at home right now. So the first look I have to show you on how I like to wear jellies is just on their own, no actual nail art. And I really like strange looking jellies for this. You can see I have Henna by Picture Polish. We have Olive Jelly by Cirque. I have Dove Jelly, which is also by Cirque. And finally, Citron Jelly, which again is by Cirque. You can tell I really like these Cirque polishes. So you'll see here why I think it's really important that you make sure your nails are super clean, super clear of any kind of oils or excess polish or anything like that. And if you have really peely nails or cracked nails, as you can see, my nails are a little bit cracked and peely. They just do that. The jelly polish kind of sinks into those cracks and can look just a little bit darker in those spots, kind of a shadowy portion. And so you just have to be aware that with jelly polishes, the imperfections are going to show a lot more than they would with a regular nail polish. And when you go in with that second coat, it really does build these up, not to opacity, like I said, but it does give that depth of color, and it gives it that kind of squishy look, which I really, really like. They kind of look like candies, maybe not these colors, because like I said, I like a really weird color to wear on its own for a jelly, just something unusual. And these definitely have it, you know, that kind of gross brown, green, that really light dove gray, which is so aptly named, and of course that Citron Jelly, which I swear just straight up looks like a stick of butter on your nails. But yeah, this is the first way that I tend to wear jellies, and now we will get into some actual nail art. Up next, we have the tried and true jelly sandwich. This is kind of a go-to nail art for a lot of people when it comes to jellies. I have Oh Snap by Ice Cream Nails, Off the Hook by Ice Cream Nails, The Bomb, again by Ice Cream Nails. And then for the topper portion, I have Turn It Up by Orly. We have Turn It Down, again by Orly. And Galactic Unicorn Skin by Holo Taco. And finally, Star Glazer by Orly. And this is to show you how different textures look in a jelly sandwich. So I've already laid down the 4 colors for you, and I'm going to put Turn It Up and Turn It Down on the orange fingers so you can see how a colorful topper versus a not so colorful, like very monochromatic topper would look. And these are great glitters. If you don't have them, you don't really have to fish for them at all. Then we have an iridescent flaky topper, and you'll get to see how that looks sandwiched between the yellow. And then a scattered hollow topper, and that will be sandwiched between the pink. And going in with that second coat, you can see it adds kind of a layer. It tints the color underneath, but it gives a little bit of depth, like they're underwater. I mean, they're under polish. And it gives you that kind of squishy look to it. With the iridescent, I find that it highlights the iridescent even more. And so this is a way I prefer to wear iridescent flakies over a topper. And then with the scattered hollow, it just looks like it's suspended in those jelly glitter shoes. And I really like that look. I think it's really, really cute here. The third look I wanted to show you was a pond manicure, and we're going to do that 2 ways. In the first one, I'm going to use Poolside by Orly, a lint roller because we're going to be stamping. I have a stamping plate, and this one is by Fab Your Nails, and it's number 10. Of course, we have a stamper. This one is by MoYou London, and it is my favorite stamper of all time. And you will need a scraper as well. Anything will really do, and any stamping polishes you may want. So again, I've laid down the pink base, and then I just stamp the design I want. And I'm going to show you black and white, and so you can kind of see the difference in how it looks. Sorry, my hand is right in the camera. And of course I had to pick Hello Kitty stamping designs. But the second you add that pink over the black, it makes it look super glossy and shiny, and it still does look suspended between those 2 layers. And if you add more layers, you get kind of more of that effect as well. And then with the pink, it tints that white to look almost like a lighter version of the pink. And so it's almost like a kind of peekaboo-y type design. It's really cute. For our second variant on the pond manicure, we're going to be using Ice Cream Nails Step Off. I have Holo Taco's One Coat Black. We have Holo Taco's Not Milky White. And we have a dotting tool because we're going to be kind of quote unquote freehanding a design in between the layers. It's the same concept, just a little bit of a different look. So I laid down that green here, and I'm just going to be doing some dots on the nail. And I just kind of did a random design. You can do whatever you want. If you freehand really well, you could paint something on the nail here, and I cannot freehand, so I chose to use a dotting tool. And the design is just like the first thing I could think of. But if you don't have access to stamping, you could use anything around you to put like little dots. You could make little flowers with the dotting tool. That's a really simple nail art. Some people do kind of like dotted rainbows and stuff like that, and that looks like a lot of fun. And the dotting tool is really easy to use. It was one of the first nail art items I ever got because I just thought, well, it's something, right? And so it's really good to have a bunch of different size dotting tools in your arsenal if you do like doing nail art. I just got mine off of like AliExpress or something. They can be very cheap or they can be very expensive. But one tip I have for this is let this dry for a long time. I let mine dry for like 10 minutes and I still ended up smearing the design in between. I should have used a water-based top coat in between, but I just wasn't thinking. And so I did end up smearing the design, but this won't happen if you let it dry for much longer than I did. Next is a nail art inspired by the Orly Jelly marketing image. So we're going to use Orly's Sweetheart for this one, as well as Orly's Ray of Sunshine, which is from their new jelly trio, and Orly's Make Waves, which is also from their new jelly trio. And then we are going to need an orange wood stick or something of that nature, and I needed a cleanup brush because I'm really sloppy when it comes to this design. So you don't even need to put down a base. Well, you could put a base coat down if you want. I didn't. And then you just use your brush to literally freehand blobs. And I don't have as hard of a time with this when there's not a camera blocking my entire view of my finger. But this time I made a big mess. So I just wanted you guys to see like how much cleanup I ended up having to do here. But it is a really easy nail art design because you don't need anything other than the brush from the bottle and maybe a cleanup brush if you're a little bit messy like me. So then I just go in with the second swoop, and you just can do like really abstract designs. And I'm only doing one coat of each color here, but if you're careful, you can go back in once this dries down and throw down a second coat for a little bit more depth and opacity. And then, of course, I chose to do the red right by the cuticle line because that was smart, and I cleaned all that up. And I really like this. I wish I had thrown a top coat over it, but I think it looks really cute and fun. This next one is probably my favorite and was inspired by this image on Instagram by Tracy's Nails. And this is going to need jellies and counterpart cream. So we're going to use My Bad by Ice Cream Nails, Let's Bounce by Ice Cream Nails, Step Off by Ice Cream Nails, and Off the Hook by Ice Cream Nails. And I just wanted to use 4 from the same collection. And then for the cream counterparts, I used Holo Taco's Left on Red, Holo Taco's Board Meeting, Holo Taco's Green Screen, and Holo Taco's Banana Hacks. And the other items you're going to need are a glossy top coat, preferably a quick dry. Some kind of tweezers are really helpful, and I used chevron vinyls. These are from Twinkle Tea, but you can get these in a lot of places. So put down the base color of your jelly and then put down a layer of glossy top coat and let it dry completely, and then you're going to place your vinyls. I tried to do kind of a random smattering and like kind of make it look really abstract and geometric, and then go in and you paint over that section of the jelly part with the counterpart cream. So for the blue jelly, I use the blue cream. For the green jelly, I use the green cream. And then once you've painted that part of the cream, really quickly you want to remove that nail vinyl, because if you let it stick on there for too long, it might start to pull the cream up as it dries. So you do want to move, not like super fast, not speed of light, but you do want to move kind of quickly. And then once you get all 4 of those colors laid down, you can then go through and do any cleanup you may need to do. You can see on the green nail and definitely on the yellow nail, because again, blocked by that camera, I couldn't really see what I was doing and I made a bit of a mess. It's a little bit easier when you don't have like a camera and everything stuck in front of your view line, but I think that this is probably my favorite. I thought this turned out really interesting, and aside from the red jelly being a little bit too close to the red cream I picked, I want to do this again. Last, we have my personal fail. I was inspired by Butopia_Serena. We're going to use these jellies from Ice Cream Nails again. Number 1, we have My Bad, and then we have Let's Bounce for the blue. We have Step Off again for the green, and for the yellow, we have Off the Hook. We have tweezers. Those are going to come in handy for our French tip nail vinyls. And basically, you can either lay down a color like we did last time and then put on the nail vinyls after you've top coated it, or I just went straight in and I laid these nail vinyls down, and I definitely feel like that was the first problem. I should have laid down some kind of contrasting base color, and I think it would have looked more interesting. But I also as you can see from that first peel, should have been way more careful about where I was placing the French tip vinyls, because you can still see my like hanging edge there. Like you can see the nail line and it makes it look really weird. And like because of the shape of some of my like curves here, I definitely probably should have free-handed that edge instead of using these vinyls. It really just depends. And for some of them, like the green and the blue especially, they were a little bit too sheer of jellies to really have the impact that I wanted. But the thing about this is it's a design that works. I just didn't execute it well. And so I wanted to keep this in just so you guys had an additional idea. And even though mine doesn't look good, I'm sure someone else can do it. So that was all I had to show you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I'm not great at nail art, but I'm trying to incorporate more into my life. And so if you guys liked seeing something like this where, you know, somebody's not perfect, but they're giving it a go and trying to explore new nail art avenues, let me know. I'd be happy to make more. I actually really enjoyed filming this video. I thought it was going to be pretty tedious having to film a ton of different nail art looks, but it was actually, it really got me into a good headspace with it. And let me know down below if there are any kind of inspiring jelly nail art looks that you like to do that I didn't mention here today, or maybe some tips and tricks for all of us here that we could learn from. But that's going to be it for me today. Like I said, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.